Hello, welcome back to the channel. Chula wants to say hi. Say hi. Okay, so we are currently in front of the window. He is people watching. But I thought today would be a fun little day to take you guys along with me for a little work in my life vlog. I only work for pet sitting. That is my only source of income, and that is how I pay my rent right now for my gap year. But I also have a few little things of housekeeping, things that I want to do, things that I have to do for adulting, and so I thought I would show you what all I do. So this morning I already did some dog walking and I ran some errands. So I went to Claire's and I went to pick up some free earrings because I got my second ear piercing done there a few months ago, and they're doing a promotion where if you get your ears pierced, then you get a free earring once a month for a whole year. And so that is why I went for that. And then I also went to go donate some things. I did a little winter cleaning. Since I've been stuck inside for the past few days, I wanted to get rid of some things, and so I gathered all that up and I took them to go donate. And now I'm here. It's almost lunchtime and I'm gonna record the next part of my day. So I have about 2-ish hours before I leave for another dog walking this afternoon. So I have plenty of time to get some stuff done, but in order to organize my thoughts, I'm going to write down a to-do list first, and I guess I'll walk you guys through that. So the first thing I need to do that has more of a deadline is my podcast episode. This is going to be number 8, which is so exciting. And I need to record it and publish it and promote it. Meaning I have to make a graphic in order to post on the podcast Instagram. And I need to brainstorm what exactly I want to film it on. This week is going to be, I have a lot of topic ideas, but the truth is I don't really know what I want to talk about. Sometimes I want to talk about something and then I'm like, I don't know, I think I'm going to wait on that. And so it's just kind of whatever my heart desires to talk about. But the latest episode was on how I got into research and how I almost missed that opportunity. So if you're wanting to get into research or you need a little bit of inspiration to overcome self-doubt, listen to that one. But for this week, I'm thinking I might either talk about something personal or something light, but lately they've all been a little light, so I don't know. I might want to get a little deep. So I don't know. I'm thinking either friendships in your 20s. That one would be a good one that isn't too deep, doesn't go too personal, but I think it's a little bit more personal. And then also on heartbreak in your 20s. Heartbreak in general is pretty hard, so I don't know, which one should I talk about? I don't know if I'm ready to talk about my heartbreak. If you don't know, I've recently gone through a breakup and that was pretty tough for me, but also I don't know, I feel like I'm looking at it pretty positively as much as one can, and there's numerous reasons for that. But I don't know, do I want to talk about that? We'll decide in a minute. After this, we'll think about it more. Okay, so that's number 1 on the list is the podcast episode. That one has a deadline, which is tonight. Preferably this afternoon, actually, before I go dog walking. Number 2 is I want to email my management office to renew my lease. She was supposed to get in contact with me this week, but since the snow, it's been a little bit out of whack. Then the third thing would be, call my insurance. If you don't know, I got into a fender bender, if you will, a few months ago. Actually, a car hit mine while I was parked, by the way. So my insurance and that other person's insurance are trying to kind of figure it out, because I was not parked in a parking stall. So they're trying to say that I need to pay 15% of the damages. But long story short, my insurance doesn't agree with that. So I need to call them for an update on where they're at with the other insurance. Number 4, I have to prepare for my interview. And that I need to start ASAP. On that note, if you don't know, I got invited to interview again for the College of Veterinary Medicine here at Mississippi State. I applied last cycle and I got accepted, but I ended up having to take a gap year, and so I have to apply again and interview again, which is exciting, but it's in about 2 weeks, so I have to start preparing for that. And hopefully next week I can make an appointment with the Career Center at MS State to practice. So this week's going to be kind of like refreshing my memory on all my answers. I'm going to look back at some notes I have from last year's preparation, and I'll probably practice on my own, and the next week will be practice with other people. I feel like those 2 things are what helped me do pretty well last time. So just practicing. Make sure that you don't sound rehearsed, but that with confidence what your answers would be if they were to ask you such and such questions. If I have time, I'm going to schedule to get a refill on some medications, but I'm probably going to wait till next week. And this is going to be an eye-rolling to-do list, but I just want to put everything down because if not, I'll forget. But my eyebrows are getting a little unruly and kind of hard to tame lately. So I'm probably going to schedule, and this is also going to be next week, maybe. I'll schedule it today or tomorrow for next week, but I'm going to schedule an eyebrow appointment. Roll your eyes at that one because I am. The fact that I'm writing it down. Okay, and then lastly, I think actually that would be it. So yeah. Let's see. Now we're going to get into the podcast episode. All right, so I'm all prepared, but before I set up my microphone and all that, the first thing that I do when I'm preparing for a podcast episode is I jot down and brainstorm all that I want to talk about, because sometimes if I don't do this, I can stutter or I just lose my train of thought. So having it down really helps. Having it written down really helps. And I still don't know what I want to talk about. I don't know. It's kind of scary. I don't know. I think you'll find out on this week's podcast. So let me brainstorm, and you guys can watch a time lapse of that.
Our hair lies but not concerned. Till then I'll call at 2:45, and I will wait till we finally meet. When our hands touch, it might all make sense. And all those times I would look at your face, and we both know we were living in one of the moments that we never forget. I know you were.
Okay, I'm ready to record now. I'm a little nervous, I'm a little scared, but we're gonna do it and we're gonna power through, you and me, right here. Okay, I have to make sure that now that I am getting set up, my computer is fully charged, which it looks like she is. So we don't have to worry about plugging her in because I don't want her to be overheated. She is a MacBook after all, and they're sensitive creatures. Don't mind Chulo if he's barking in the background. He's got voices in his head sometimes. Hello, welcome back to the podcast, Just a Little Sazón, with AndreaJoyce, your host. Okay, I finished the episode, I finished recording, and now what I like to do is I like to listen back to the episode while I make the podcast graphic for the Instagram, so that way I can make sure that I said everything the way I wanted to say it, that I said everything eloquently, and that I didn't really stutter, because that's sometimes a problem with me. I think this is also a good one because Valentine's Day is coming soon, and I know a lot of breakups happen before Valentine's Day, so this one would be a good one to talk about. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make the graphic. Okay, so I've uploaded it. Well, I've scheduled it to upload. Now I'm gonna just hit publish. And I'm all set, and here is a little overview. It tells me how many people have listened and all of that, and then over here is my little graphic that I use a template for, and then I just change it to the colors I want, the picture I want. So I'm going to quick publish that onto the podcast's Instagram, and I can check that off. And then I'm probably going to make myself some lunch and get to that email for my management office about the renewal. And then I'll do my last dog walking, and while I'm there, I'll do a phone call for the insurance. I'm gonna quick eat while I do this email. We made it out to dog walk. It's very cold, very chilly out here. And let me just say that thankfully it's not so slippery anymore, because I was concerned, if you can't tell by how shaky the camera is, I was concerned I was gonna break a hip or something. But we're making it through. And honestly, I'm just ready for summer. I'm ready for the sun. I'm ready for the greenery. This is just, I don't know why this was ever my favorite season, because it looks so gloomy. And even though the cold is nice compared to like the heat, I don't know, I'm excited for the nice warmth that summer brings. And I'm saying summer because spring always brings a lot of allergies to me. And last year was really bad. My eyes got really puffy, and I did not go to school for, I'd say, almost an entire week, because my eyes were just basically glued shut from my allergies. So it was pretty bad. That's pretty graphic, but yeah, it was not good. It's not a good time. So we can skip spring altogether, in my opinion, if it was up to me. But whew, I'm almost done here. I'm almost done with the dog walking for the day. I really like to listen to podcasts when I'm out on walks, and that is because, I don't know, I just really have always loved self-help and self-improvement, and a lot of the podcasts that I listen to are about that. So I enjoy it. And I also, I don't know, with music, like depending on the day, like if I was listening to some All Too Well in this weather, I feel like I'd depress myself. But like with podcasts, I can guide my mind into something. What I was saying was that with podcasts, I can kind of guide my mind to think positive things, because the podcasts I listen to tend to be very positive. So that is why I listen to podcasts, and I love it. And if you want some podcast recommendations, I really recommend On My Mind by Ava Jules, Moments by Lexi Hidalgo. I recommend Hot Girl Energy by Kaylee Stewart. Ooh, The Wellness Cafe is such a good one. I really like a lot of them. I never really shut myself. Ooh, you know my favorite one? It's not a self-improvement. It's just such a fun one to listen to. Is That's the Point by Kristen Johns and John Volk. They are my favorite podcasters, and they're newer too, so go listen to them. Actually, they are really funny, and Kristen has always been one of my favorite YouTubers, so I think that's why I also enjoy her a lot. But yeah, now we're gonna finish this walk. I don't know if I want to film the rest of my night, just because I'm just gonna be going to the gym, and then after that I want to, I called the insurance place, and they said that the lady I need to speak to was not in the office today, so I needed to talk to her tomorrow, so I have to make that call tomorrow. I don't know about you, but I don't dread answering the phone, but I do dread making the call. Like, I do not like, if it's like, you know, businessy related or like adulting stuff related. If it's like to order a pizza, I don't really care. But like, you know, like I just don't really love making those kind of calls. They're not fun and they're kind of annoying. But what was I saying? Yeah, so I also don't know if I want to film me practicing for my interview. I'll do a time lapse if I do, but I want to make a whole separate video about it, so I don't know if just watching me do a time lapse is very helpful, but I want to do a separate video about it on like the kind of questions they ask, the kind of preparation that I did. And in a week will be the vlog on the interview, so that's very exciting. So I finally made it to my room. Last time, I think the last clip that I was talking in, I was dog walking, and then I finished for the day for that, and I went to the gym for about 40 minutes, and then I came home, I had supper, and I took a shower. And so the last thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to just I guess practice some interview questions or look over my interview question prompts that I wrote up last year. And basically the way that I did it is that I made a Google Doc of like all the possible questions that they could ask me and the answers that I want to give. So I just have some pointers. I'm not trying to memorize my answers because I don't want to sound rehearsed. I want to sound genuine, and I want to be authentic and come across as authentic when I am being interviewed. But I do want to know or make sure that I don't get stumped up when I'm asked certain questions, that I know what answers I want to touch on, what answers I want to give, and what things I want them to know about me. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do right now. But don't worry, I am going to make a video on this soon. I'll hopefully help you guys out on that too. I am pretty tired. I think I'm going to turn in for the night, but I think for the first night of practicing and preparing, it's very good to just look over the potential questions that you have and to just try to trigger your brain to remember like exactly what you want to say, and don't really focus on being perfect the first time that you practice. Just focus on making sure that you know exactly how you want to answer these questions. Right now for tonight, I just refreshed my memory on the things that I talked about last year, but I think tomorrow I'm gonna go over it and make sure that I have different things I want to say or change some things up if I want to. Really just make sure that the answers that I typed out are the answers that I want to give 100%. And then probably the day after that, I'll just start practicing on my own, like just reading the question to myself, and then I'm going to, without looking at what I wrote, just say what I want to say and practice doing that confidently. And then after that, I'm going to get other people to help me practice, because I think that was the biggest thing that helped me last year, was just practicing. And so yeah, anyways, that was my work for the day. I am going to sleep. Well, actually, I think I'm going to read and then I'm going to sleep. I'm kind of tired. And try not to stress too much if you are going to be interviewing, because whatever happens will happen. But you should enter with a confident mindset and excited mindset. Nerves may get the best of you, but don't let them ruin, I guess, what should be an amazing day. And so yeah, so anyways, that is my little spiel on interview for anything really that you want to do. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go to sleep. But thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for clicking on it, and for those of you that have liked it and commented and subscribed. And I hope that you guys have a great night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
This